burning of medical waste has been going on for a long time. And as the video stated, the New York State Health Equity Report shows that Mount Vernon has a higher preventable hospitalization rate and elevated premature deaths before the age of 65 compared to other Westchester communities.
This is Black Westchester Magazine's People Before Politics Sunday Rundown.
It's what's going on in Mount Vernon with this medical waste plant. Now, a lot of people don't know, but there is a medical waste plant in Mount Vernon. And, you know, I thought my partner would be here so I could upload the video, but I'm gonna play one of the reports so people can actually see. You know, I'm gonna play one of the reports. We're gonna talk about it, and while it's playing, God willing, I'll be able to pull up the actual building. So check it out.
Ash that embeds deep into human lungs. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, these pollutants are among the most dangerous substances. For years, a quiet environmental crime has been unfolding in Mount Vernon, New York. Residents have watched a steady plume of smoke rise from an industrial site that should never have been permitted near homes, schools, and playgrounds. Behind that smoke lies a deeper truth: that a majority Black city led by Black elected officials is being poisoned by the very system claiming to protect it. The poison in the air, what's burning inside Mount Vernon's city limits, is more than waste. It's the health of an entire community. The alleged incineration of medical waste releases a cocktail of toxins, dioxins, mercury, lead, and microscopic ash that embeds deep into human lungs. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, these pollutants are among the most dangerous substances on Earth, linked to cancer, reproductive damage, and immune system failure. These poisons don't vanish when the smoke clears. They settle into soil, drift through open windows, and cling to the same playgrounds where our children play. Even at trace levels, they damage the human body over time, invisible, odorless, and deadly. Mount Vernon's health crisis didn't start with the smoke. It's the latest chapter in a long story of neglect. The city of over 80,000 residents does not have a full functioning hospital. Let that sink in. A city that once had one of the most respected hospitals in Westchester County now sends its sick and elderly miles away for emergency care. For years, Mount Vernon Hospital has been stripped down, neglected, and dismantled, while local politicians offered photo ops instead of solutions. Ambulances raced to New Rochelle, Bronxville, or the Bronx, while residents in cardiac arrest, labor, or trauma lose precious minutes, sometimes their lives. This collapse has deep racial consequences. The New York State Health Equity Report shows Mount Vernon has higher preventable hospitalization rates and elevated premature deaths before age 65 compared to other Westchester communities. Residents experience excess mortality from heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, according to the New York State Nurses Association. These are not random statistics. They are the predictable results of systemic neglect. Meanwhile, wealthier, majority white cities like Scarsdale and Bronxville, less than 10 minutes away, have thriving hospitals and better access to specialists. Montefiore's own restructuring widened these disparities, quietly closing services in Mount Vernon while expanding in White Plains. This is not just poor planning, it's political apartheid with Black faces. A system where elected officials who look like the community still govern with the same disregard as those who once ignored us.
Didn't really understand.
I was trying to add my brother AJ. Welcome.
What's up? What's up?
Well, yeah, so that video, we are discussing the actual, I like this layout better. We're discussing the actual alleged, well, not alleged, because after I wrote the article, a lot of people came in and said that they've been complaining about that plant for years. And
what plant? I'm sorry.
The medical burning plant, the plant that burns the medical waste.
Where at? No,
In
what's
Mount
that?
Vernon.
Oh,
Mount Vernon. In Mount Vernon. And someone sent me the actual, I'm trying to bring it up right now. The actual picture of the now I don't see it, you know. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I could bring this up. So that's the plant. Burning the medical waste right there. So that's the actual plant right there. And that burning of medical waste has been going on for a long time. And as the video stated, the New York State Health Equity Report shows that Mount Vernon has a higher preventable hospitalization rate and elevated premature deaths before the age of 65 compared to other Westchester communities. Right? It says Mount Vernon residents experience excess mortality from heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, according to the New York State Nurses Association. So when, like, I talked about this before, AJ, when I said this is what we're seeing is racism by zip code. And when you look at how Black communities are treated health-wise compared to white communities, and in Westchester County, like, this is just not Westchester County, this is across the spectrum in Black communities throughout the United States. But when we see cities like Mount Vernon that have a history of Black elected officials from the top to the bottom, all the way up to the state, represented from the state, and we still have these issues. And this is not a jab, or this is not an attack on any of those elected officials. This is just having real conversation, because there are real consequences that comes from lack of action, lack of having open discussions, and lack of moving on issues. So when you look at the actual numbers, not feelings, the numbers of, if Mount Vernon has higher asthma rates in its residents than other cities, and then you have a plant that has been burning medical waste for decades right in the city, and nobody has addressed it, you know, this is very serious, because some people is walking around. Listen, my mother-in-law has COPD. I know a lot of people with asthma in Mount Vernon. Like, is that the reason? Is that one of the reasons? See, we have to talk about it, and we have to discuss it. Because if we don't discuss it, the basically that we're doing is just killing our people. The same with highways going through Black neighborhoods and cities across the country. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is something that needs to be addressed, not just on a city level, but on a county level, and even on the state level. When we're talking about health and wellness, AJ, you've been reporting the issue with the hospital. You know, I can't see how a city with 80,000 people, and they talk about they don't have no money, but Montefiore has bought up most of Post Road in White Plains.
yeah. Montefiore had no intention on building and maintaining a functioning hospital in Mount Vernon.
Right, because they put all their money into White Plains.
They actually, in the reports that we had when they first brought Mount Vernon Hospital, we were told that they would instruct ambulances to divert all traffic to Bronxville. I mean, to the other Montefiore's, New Rochelle, and the Bronx, from the people from Mount Vernon. Take them, tell the ambulance, take them directly there. Then what they told the state, because they wanted to close the hospital, they told the state that nobody's using the hospital. They were diverting all the traffic away from Mount Vernon Hospital for Mount Vernon. And then they told the state nobody's using the hospital and they was trying to close it. I was part of a coalition, the Save and Transform Mount Vernon Hospital coalition. And, we fought back because they were trying to put the urgent care on, they were going to close the hospital and just put an urgent care on Sanford Boulevard. And they supposedly are doing things to fix, but from what I heard from people who work for the hospital and some of the nurses and stuff, I mean, they put a fresh coat of paint on the hallway and, they did like stuff like that, but they still haven't. We don't have we didn't have a trauma center, and there's no place where you need a trauma center more than Mount Vernon. I've heard from people who, shooting victims who, and people who had cardiac arrest, health issues like that, heart attacks, they died on the way to the Bronx and New Rochelle because there was no trauma, in Mount Vernon Hospital. So those are some of the things that I've been on the forefront of fighting for, and I don't know where I haven't really followed up in the last year or so. I don't know where we are on getting the services we need in the hospital that was promised. These were promised, but I don't think they have delivered. Montefiore has not delivered.
Well, here's the problem was, and I'm not going to call names today, but people just look at the timeline and what happened, and then who was in office and who wasn't in office. They allowed it to happen. They sat back and they played theater, and they allowed it to happen. Now, you just said that they knew when they came and bought that. They allowed it to happen. And the fact that at that time, I believe she was Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul, when she went up, and I reported on it, when she went upstate to a city that had either equal or less population,
like Rochester or something. It was
and built a new hospital.
It was they had far lesser population than did.
And built a new hospital and left Mount Vernon with a and here's the sad thing. There's no maternity ward in Mount Vernon, so technically our children actually born in Mount Vernon.
I don't think anybody's been born in Mount Vernon since like 1980 something. I don't remember the exact date.
Exactly.
But anybody was born after 85 or something like that was not born in Mount Vernon.
Right. You're not even born in the city. So all y'all talking about you born in Mount Vernon, if you born after 86, you're really not born in Mount Vernon.
Yeah, it's 80 something. I don't want to get on the
in the late 80s. It's the late 80s. Right? It's going to be Daz is 37. He was born in Mount Vernon Hospital.
And my daughter was 89. He was born 88, right?
Yeah.
So 88, 89. So then let's just say the 90s. Let's just say with the 90s.
Right. It has to be around the 90s. Utica just got a new hospital after a billionaire with ties to the city and has about 65,000 people, about the same size. Yeah. And we have a high population of seniors, about 18-20% of seniors in Mount Vernon.
Also, the number of Mount Vernon, where they say, I think 80-something thousand, only less than 60% of the people filled out the census. So that number is far greater than over 100,000. It's just everybody didn't fill out the census. Probably like 100, 120,000 or something, but less than, like maybe 60% of the people actually filled out the census.
Right. And this is very serious, but I don't know. People in Mount Vernon keep voting for the same people and expecting a different results. That's insanity, ladies and gentlemen. That is complete insanity on the people who come out and vote. Like, I'm really tired of seeing everybody complaining on Facebook Everybody complaining on Facebook, and when it's time to come out and vote, nobody mobilizes to get good people in that's gonna fix these problems. If the lack of sewers and the rodents that's underneath these buildings because the sewers is all messed up, you got damn near blocks collapsing in. It's crazy. And there's no addressing these issues on how they're going to get fixed or when they're going to get fixed. You go in the bottom of some of these buildings right on Fifth Avenue, and if it rains, forget about it. It's ratatouille. It's a whole bunch of rats floating through water. And I know for a fact because I've seen it. I've seen it. The sad thing about it, in Ernie's building, the architect that made the sculpture of Martin Luther King Jr., that's right in front of the courthouse, had the molds stored in Ernie Davis's basement. Had the design stored in Ernie Davis's basement. Sewer backed up, water came up through the basement, it was high, destroyed all that. The poor man stood there and cried. And they had to pull all the stuff out. These are the conditions that's going on underneath.
You talking about the building on Fifth Avenue?
Talking about Ernie's building. Where the whatchamacallit is at?
On Fifth Avenue, yeah.
Yeah.
Across from the parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah, in the basement. The man cried. I was down there. I saw the moles. And they were trying to move all that up and trying to save all that stuff. Many of the basements flood. Many of the basements have rats. On a general basis, because it's just a mess. It needs to be fixed. Somebody needs to have an answer for that. But we don't hear anything. But y'all are people that keep voting for that. And this is not an attack on anybody. It's basically telling the people, what are you doing? You can't blame a person you keep voting in office and they keep doing nothing. You can't blame them. You got to blame yourself after a while. I don't know. But that smoke, and people need to get together. They need to get some type of independent report outside from the city. It's election time. Y'all should have been asking your county elected officials. You got to get an independent air, soil, and you got to test the water again. And you got to track the asthma and cancer and respiratory illness by zip code. There's already reports that says that Mount Vernon is higher. But people have to collect data. Just can't complain on Facebook. You just can't send out emails.
I want to go a step further. It's while the elected officials have a part to play in all of this, I don't want to let the residents off the hook, because you have to fight for the things that you want. You have to speak up. There's a lot of residents that there's a part they got to play too. So the conditions of the city is not only because of the elected officials. If the people are not fighting for these things, they're not going to get them.
Right.
So you have to fight for what it is that you want. You have to stand up and demand what you want. And I'm not talking about writing writing propaganda on Facebook, but I'm like going to city council meetings, going places that matter, going up to Albany, going up, doing, playing your role. That's your responsibility. So it doesn't matter who is in office. If the people are not demanding these things, it's not going to happen.
Right. Oh. Right. So
I just want to put that out there because
yeah.
you put and again, you get the government that you deserve because you get the government you vote for. And if you're elected officials, this is not Mount Vernon, this is everywhere we got our people. If your elected officials are not doing what you need them to do for your community, your county, your municipality, you need to vote them out and put people in who have that will do what you need them to do. And that is also your responsibility. So, we have to stop voting for people because they're our friends or they're cool with us or they went to high school with us or they're in a fraternal organization, a sorority or a fraternity with us, or those there's a lot of people that I'm cool with. I would never vote for them for office. No, I'm just, and I don't mean that as disrespect. Like, I wouldn't vote for them. I wouldn't vote for them because they're my people. I don't know if they would, if I don't think that they would be good for, I'm not going to vote for them. Like, I'm just not going to vote for them because they're my people. Like, I don't know where we do that. Like, we vote against our interests and I don't even, we talk, I'm not going to harbor on that because that's something we've been talking about for the longest. And, you feel like you're wasting your time sometimes, but.
Right. All right. So we're going to go on to the next one. But I think, the people of Mount Vernon need to hold elected officials accountable. Like they have to, like we didn't hear, like the total disrespect for no elected official to show up with the police chief on the detainee shooting other detainees in the back. That's totally disrespectful. And I'm saying it. That's totally disrespectful. That was a complete breakdown. That was unheard of in police history for something like that to happen, especially in Westchester County. Especially in Westchester County. And I'm not pointing any blames, but we have to have accountability for things like that. And then to hear that we got all this smoke, that's just not local issue. It's actually a county and state issue too. But I've seen the residents of Mount Vernon continue to be disrespected by the state. But I also understand the state position because Mount Vernon keeps voting these people in. You get the government you vote for.
This is Black Westchester Magazine's People Before Politics Sunday Rundown. You can check out the full show listed on our YouTube channel. Don't miss us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Live. It's going to be Blacktastic.